Planes and people were bustling at the Bong Airport in Superior today, all to see one historic plane. CBS 3's Abigail Smith went to see what the locals were so excited about.
After 4 years of restoration efforts, the Lake Superior Squadron started the engine of a World War II plane for the first time since 2015. Commander of Lake Superior Squadron in Superior, Bill McMahon, says the long process was worth it.
This is totally awesome. It's a culmination of three and a half years, from complete teardown to complete overhaul and rebuild to the point we saw today.
The 1945 Stinson OY-2 Sentinel is known as Karen Bell. That was used for spotting, search and rescue, resupply, and transport for the Navy and the Marines. Dwayne Tomasek Squadron Executive Officer reflected on an encounter he had with a Korean veteran 2 weeks before he passed, saying that stories like his are why it's important to maintain historical artifacts like Karen Bell.
Through the course of the conversation, he said, I was in Korea and I was wounded, and that airplane flew me out. I said, well, how do you know it was that particular airplane? He says, I remember the tail numbers.
The plane flew from 1945 until 1949. It flew recreationally in 1956 until it was donated to the Commemorative Air Force. Its last flight was in 2015, and since, the volunteer squadron has used the plane to honor American history.
Due to the fact of honoring, inspiring, and educating people what went on back then and keeping these warbirds alive. So that's why we do it.
Very exciting. Well, Karen Bell is on track to fly once again later this summer. And the Superior Airport also hosted its open house, inviting the public to one of its major spring events celebrating aviation in the Twin Ports. The open house lasted all day long, complete with airplane rides for friends and family and a barbecue lunch served in their hangar. Multiple airplanes were on display for everyone to observe and watch as they took off and landed. A number of historical items and artifacts were also on display from World War II and the Korean War. Organizers say that the event is a great way to educate the community.
We like to draw people out, have them experience and learn about the era, and understand why it's very important to American history and the world history in general. So that's our mission and why we're having people out today to kind of help us raise awareness.
Chapter members were also present to discuss the workings of their chapter and their experience flying airplanes. You know, Peter, we were talking earlier